So here we have the ingredients all ready to start to make the cake. I'm making this 8-inch cake and it requires 6 eggs. So to the 6 eggs we also have 350 grams of butter, 350 grams of caster sugar, 350 grams of self-raising flour and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Before we start to mix our cake, we would need to go and put our oven on. So the temperature that you would need for your oven is 140 degrees Celsius for a fan assisted oven, 160 degrees centigrade for a conventional oven, and about 2.5 Mark II.5 in gas. So now we're actually going to make the cake. So my butter is in my mixing bowl and I have my sugar handy here. So the first thing that I always do is I give my butter a little bit of a mix. Although it's been out of the fridge for some time and it's at room temperature, it's still a little bit on the hard side. So in order to get it underway, started, I usually give it a beat. You can use a wooden spoon. If you've got a hand mixer, this is going to be really helpful. If you haven't and you have got a stand mixer, which I have here, then obviously a stand mixer will make life so much easier. It takes all the hard work out of beating anything. So I'm going to pop that in my stand mixer and give it a bit of a beat now. So I've given this a beat for a minute or two with my stand mixer and you can see that it's got a lovely soft consistency. This is a really good start. So we're going to add the sugar. But just to tell you about the margarine, should you decide that you would like to use margarine, this actually is a lot softer already. So if you don't have a stand mixer or a hand mixer and you are going to be using a wooden spoon, you might actually find that a spreadable stalk would be the best thing for you, and it'll take a lot of hard work out of the beating. So now we're just going to very quickly add the sugar. So there's 350 grams of butter and 350 grams of caster sugar that I've added to that. So now I've beaten the butter and the sugar together. I did it for 3 or 4 minutes and now we've got this lovely fluffy consistency. Not only does this incorporate the butter and the sugar together, it also helps to put some air into the mixture. The next thing we have to do is we add the eggs. I add 1 egg at a time and I always break it into a cup or a little dish. And the reason being that when I break it, if there are any little pieces of eggshell, which happens sometimes, it actually is in my little dish and it's not in the sponge cake mixture. So I'll add 1 and we'll see. I was lucky, I didn't manage to get any eggshell in. So I put that in and then I just give it a little beat for a minute or so, and then we add the next one and so on. I have 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract for this size of sponge cake, and again I always measure it into a small bowl or dish or cup, because if I tend to get a little bit heavy-handed by mistake, we might end up with half a bottle of vanilla extract into our mixture. So that's just 2 teaspoons in there of vanilla extract. And now we just have to add the flour. What I tend to do at this point is I give it a good scrape round my bowl. Make sure all the mixture's incorporated from the bottom. And I will clean off my whisk and then we will add the flour. So I've made sure all the mixture has been cleaned from around the bowl. It's all in the bottom of the bowl. I've given it a mix round just to make sure everything was incorporated. The last thing we have to add now is the self-raising flour. This has already been sifted several times, but you can never sift too many times. It will help to add that last little bit of air into your cake mixture. It'll get rid of all the any lumps and bumps in there. Obviously there aren't any at the moment, so that's excellent news. Now with the flour you have to mix it together very, very carefully and very, very slowly. And you must not overmix. If you overmix, what can happen is it'll actually make your sponge cake dip in the middle, so you have a sunken cake. So you can either use, if you have a stand mixer, you can use your mixer on a slow setting. If you have your hand mixer, exactly the same on a slow setting. Or if you are actually doing all of this by hand, what we do is we just fold it all in. Okay, so if you were doing this by hand, you would just keep folding this in, cutting and folding, cutting and folding. We do not want to take all the air out of the butter and the sugar and the egg mixture. Neither do we want to stretch the gluten that's in the flour, which will make sure that your sponge cake actually goes flop in the middle. We want a nice even mix. Okay, so I've started using the spoon now rather than using my mixer attachment. So I just carry on finishing off mixing this up. So you can see it mixes extremely easily, and I'll just scrape the bottom of the bowl, as you can hear, to make sure that it's all incorporated well, and then we're ready to put the mixture into the tins to put in the oven. So here we are, we're ready to put our mixture into our tins. Now you may think this is a little bit over the top, but I always weigh my sponge cakes as I do them, and basically for this amount we've got 350 grams of everything, so that's times 4. Now we want 350 grams twice into these two tins, so 700 in that tin and 700 in that tin, more or less. And all I do is I place a little, this is a ramekin, obviously I used to place that on my scales. Then I place my tin on the top and I turn it to 0. And I don't think you can see from this angle, but I'm just going to weigh this and just to see if I get around 700 grams into my tin. Okay. Okay, so that's the one. I'll do the other one and then we'll go on from there. So as you can see, I filled both tins with the mixture and I've leveled it off the best that I can. It's always a bit of a challenge to try and get this as level as possible, but you just have to do your best. Now just before we put them in the oven, a little trick or a tip. A lot of people worry that their sponge cakes are going to be dry. And the best thing to do in my book is to put some water in a bowl or in an oven-proof dish and put it in the bottom of the oven. This will create steam.